What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Punk Rock Radar. Today, very special episode. Dylan and I are going to be talking about our favorite albums of the last 5 years. We're going to go back all the way to 2018. So some of them may be 6 years old, but it doesn't matter. You're going to get a bunch of really cool records to check out. This is going to be part 1 of 4. We're going to do 5 records each. So Dylan, how do you feel about doing this video? Was it tough for you to find your 20 favorite albums of the last 5 years?
Kinda, and a lot of them are still to be determined. So,
Same. Yeah.
I was able to dredge up some stuff I forgot about, kind of, but that I remember liking a lot.
Yeah. So with me, I was gonna ask you too, but for me, like when I'm finding an album I really like, it tends to be more about the vocals and the melodies that go into these albums. So the ones I picked, they're very like vocal melody heavy. What, like on your list, what do you typically look for when you're picking out like a favorite record?
Something that's very listenable, something I can listen to like a dozen times and not get tired of if need be.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we've got your first pick already up here. We got the Giant Eagles Second Landing album from 2020. So what do you like about this one here? There it is. What color you have? Give us we're going to do a little show and tell here.
It's, I think the second pressing, pink.
There we go.
Is it pink or orange? It's either pink or orange. I think it's pink. Yeah, this is one of 2 albums. This band features members of The Windowsill, among other pop punk bands from the Netherlands. And they are stellar. If you like Ramones core, you will like Giant Eagles. They have like synthesizers and stuff. It's really cool.
So I actually really like this one too. I have this on when we eventually do our Ramones core, favorite Ramones core albums. This is going to be on there. Like my favorite songs are Evil Robot Nation and Don't Love Nobody. Do you have a favorite track on here?
I like the opener, Bloodlust Tonight. As well as Evil Robot Nation's probably my overall favorite. Yeah. And then what else? Anaconda's cool, and Put One in the Chamber. Some of the songs have like a darker feel, like Put One in the Chamber definitely does. I like it. It's very like sinister sci-fi sounding.
Yeah, this is a great pick. No problems here. Dylan, I'm going to get into my first pick here. The Dirty Nil, their album from 2021. I think it came out on the first of the year, 2021. And if you guys didn't know, they just put out a new song today. We're recording this on April 14th. New song, new album pre-order. New record comes out May 26th. You can see all the albums I have pinned here. Here's the record. For me, the Dirty Nil is one of those bands, kind of like the Foo Fighters or Jimmy Eat World, where it's not pinned to a genre. I think that the style itself is a kind of a mix, but it's mostly just a rock and roll album. And just like using Doom Boy, the first song as an example, you're going to get hit with a thrash riff right off the bat. It goes into like arena style ring outs in the verses. Then you got a pop punk chorus, and that's kind of how the album flows throughout. The first 4 songs, Doom Boy, Blunt Force Concussion, Elvis 77, Done with Drugs, I think were all singles. You know, they are all on the 7-inch. Those would be my favorites, but I also really like Damage Control, track 7. And even the last 2 are kind of like ballads, To the Guy Who Stole My Bike and One More in the Bill. I like those too. Just to continue the show and tell, I wanted to do something extra in here. I think I missed out. Today I got the Splatter. Today I got the 1 out of 150. But for this one, I missed out. I got this is the pink and white haze, I think, or marble. This was, I think it was the second press. But yeah, this is one of my favorite albums by far, probably the last 10 years. I still listen to this probably once or twice a month. I do have a very short story. My wife and I went to see them in Woodstock. I think it was my first time ever going to Woodstock, little tiny artsy town, about 90 minutes north of New York City. And this is during peak COVID, and they were COVID testing out front. And by the time we finally got in, it was a very, very small venue. It was like a little house. It took us 45 minutes to get in. By the time I got in, they'd already played Doom Boy and Blunt Force Concussion, my two favorite songs on the album. So, but whatever, they hung out afterwards. They got the cassette signed and a couple other stuff. So overall, still worth it. They put on a kick-ass show. But that is my first pick here. Dirty Nil, Fuck Art. Dylan, I know you said you're trying to get into this band. Did you listen at all today?
I didn't have a chance to listen to this album. I did listen to the new single today, though, and that's cool. And I'm one of the few people who can say they heard the Dirty Nil before they won a Juno.
Oh, Dylan enlightened me yesterday that they had an EP on Fat Wreck. I had no idea that EP was on Fat Records.
Yeah, that was the only thing I'd heard prior to I listened to this a little because I watched an interview the singer did, and I thought he seemed like a cool guy. So, but I haven't listened to the whole album. I need to get on it.
Another fun fact too: the singer and me, we share a birthday. So July 13th, kids, representing. That's a 1 in 365 chance. For me, this is a 1 in a million album. So, go check it out. So, Dylan, what is your next pick gonna be?
My next pick is Mega, Narcissistic Punk Rock Disorder. Mega is from somewhere in Europe that I can't recall off the top of my head.
I think they're from Italy.
Maybe, yeah, probably. This album's awesome. There's a cool like alternate version of it. Where the singer re-recorded it as Mega Drive, and it's more like 80s like synth pop. So that's really cool too. I like some of the songs work better as that. Yeah, this is another pop punk album. Not really Ramones core. I can't really pin down a specific subgenre that I would pin on it. But if you like Mom's Basement Records, pop punk bands, these guys are in that realm. And this is a great record. This is their best album, in my opinion. Favorite songs, North Rhine-Westphalia, if that's how that's pronounced. I Met Lil Sebastian.
Yes.
And probably Electric Dreams. But yeah, check this out and the Mega Drive version. I think that one's only on Bandcamp, but they're both awesome.
Yeah, I love the title track from this album. That would be my favorite. But I have this one in the closet. I didn't know you were picking this one. Yeah, great album. Dylan, up next for me, I've got another band that's super popular. I know that this is one of both of our all-time favorite bands, but not the deluxe. Hold on. This one, Silver Linings. I hate when bands do deluxe, but Silver Linings. This came out in 2020. This is one of many albums that came out mid-pandemic that I feel like didn't ever really get their place in the sun. I was a little apprehensive when this came out. I was not a huge fan of Sound the Alarm. I saw that they were sticking on Pure Noise Records, didn't know what to expect. But when this came out, I felt that it was their best album since Anthem. I still think it is. I have the first 6 songs all pinned on my playlist, and I think number 7 and 8 are not there because I was like, I can't have them all there. Bill is another song I like. I know Dylan isn't crazy about the song Bill, but yeah, this is easily their best album since Anthem. When we did the Less Than Jake tier list, I think I had this all the way up in the A tier. And just for show and tell, I love the color this is on. It's like a lime green. I'm sure Dylan has the more rare variant. The half black was the one I wanted, but I think it's sold out. But Dylan, what are your thoughts on Less Than Jake, this album? I know it's your all-time favorite band.
All right, John. I hate to one-up you here, but I have not 1, not 2, but 3 copies of this record.
Damn. So safe to say you enjoy this one too.
Yes. It is not one of my favorite Less Than Jake albums, though. That tells you something about record collecting is an illness.
Yes.
That something cannot be one of my favorite records, and I own 3 copies of it. In my defense, though, one of them is the deluxe edition. The other 2, I'll just show the one. This is the first pressing, and I think it is the rarest one. I don't know. They pressed like 5 trillion variants of this fucking thing. It's the Rasta one. I think this was the...
Yeah, that's the one I want, dude. I was I think I was traveling the day it came out and I missed out. But I mean I like this color green, but there was like a green and black one too that was cool.
Yeah, and I think I know what you're talking about. I got this one, and then there's like a pink splatter breast cancer awareness thing, and the deluxe. But yeah, I mean, it's a good album. I would say it's like a B tier, Less Than Jake record for me. Some of the songs sound like they could have been on Sound the Alarm, like Lie to Me. It's a better song than anything on there, though. Monkey Wrench Myself, by far my favorite song on the record, though. It's the fastest.
I know. That's when I said I got the first 6. I was like, damn, why didn't I put Monkey Wrench on there? But whatever. It is what it is. What do you got next for us, Dylan?
All right, next up, I got a band who released an album last year that I like more than this one, but to avoid recency bias, let's go with the other one that I haven't spent the last 6 months talking about. Let's go with No Fun at All, Grit, on our favorite record label, Bird Attack Records. Somebody's got to SBAM or whatever. They got to repress this thing, man, because it is hard to find, and I did not buy it when it came out for some reason. This is a very underrated album, though. I hear a lot of people talk shit about this album for it not being fast enough or whatever. I think it's great, though. Spirit, The Humdrum Way, Fortunate Smile. It's kind of like a bridge between... for my fellow No Fun at All aficionados, I would say it's a crossover between like State of Flow and like the faster stuff like Big Knockover. This is like a good meeting point between those two sounds. So it's a great album, though.
I've never heard this one. I wasn't even aware this one came out. So you're giving me something to check out. But you'd recommend just starting it at Spirit?
Well, yeah, just listen to the whole album. whole fucking album's good, man. Right. And then go and check out Seventh Wave, their newest album. It's even better than this one.
All right, so I've got homework. You guys have homework. So let's move on here. My next band is going to be Nerdlinger from Australia. This album, I think I snuck it in. Yeah, 2018. I've been doing a couple 90s videos lately. I think by the time this comes out, maybe 3. And I couldn't help, like, when I was listening back to this for this episode, I just kept thinking this is such a 90s sounding album. And I mean that as a term of endearment. I love 90s music. I love the 90s sound. And for me, like, I get a lot of Fat Wreck vibes mixed with some Green Day on here. Even like the slower songs, I think Sunny Days may be the ballad on here, but even like the ballad style songs I really like. I think the meat of this album is in the middle, starting at track 4, Ballad of Rod Lightning, just run it straight through track 8. Those are my favorites on here, but overall, this is an album I can listen to all the way through. The band's been dropping singles here and there. Some rivalry, if you want to call that, with the band The Decline, also from Australia. This one is on a pretty cool color, blue. But yeah, this is Nerdlinger. The album is called Happy Place. Didn't mention it. If you're looking for some 90s style, Fat Wreck vein, punk, maybe skate punks-ish, pop punk album, go check this one out. One of my favorites. Dylan, what do you think of these guys?
They're awesome. Australia is a breeding ground of great punk bands. I'm curious, did you buy that from Paper and Plastic and they actually shipped it?
I got this from Cat's Claw, actually. He had some distro copies.
Is Paper and Plastic on the back cover? I can't remember if they were involved in that.
No, it's P, Thousand Islands, and Disconnect.
Ah, okay. I must be thinking of something else. But yeah, it's a great album. These guys are awesome. I included them in a column I did, like a 10 underrated punk bands you should check out. It was a few months ago, and everybody was pretty receptive of my Nerdlinger pick.
I hope they're working on an album, yeah, because
I think they are.
Years, yeah. So hopefully, we think so. All right.
I'm going at this project, it's the only friend I've got. My space station.
All right, what do you got next?
Next up, I got another European band, D-Cracks. What is it with me and the European pop punk bands? That's the color, like butterfly thingy, I think they called it.
Sonic Delusions, right?
Yeah, Sonic Delusions. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. Yes, D-Cracks is a incredibly reliable Ramones core band. Always put out good stuff. I don't think they have a bad record. This is their third full-length album. And I think personally their best album is Beyond Medication, but this one is probably a pretty close second to Beyond Medication. Straight off the rip, man, the album's just flying, Standing on My Head. Great album opener. And then you got Montreal Nights, you got Mexican Standoff with that cool like mariachi shit going on. And Turn Away and Do Anything You Want to Do, close the record out real solid. So very well-rounded album, and super solid band.
I haven't listened to this one either. I hate to say it, but I really like their album from 2021. Serious Issue and the Split, of course, was really good. So I got more homework, man. I wasn't expecting you to hit me with a bunch of albums I didn't listen to.
Nothing but bangers.
All right, so next band for me, another bigger band, another album I think did not get its proper place in the sun. The Copyrights. This is Alone in the Dome, their album from 2021 that came out in Fat Wreck. A couple weeks ago, I was bored and I was considering just doing this tier list real fast on my own, and I would just I hand wrote up my list and stuff, and I was going to have this one as possibly in my S tier. That's how much I like it. And this is a band I've been listening to since the very, very beginning. So this one, I think it has some of their catchiest songs they've ever written. Like Tell Molly is probably one of my favorite Copyright songs. And also the last song, On Division. So last song on the A side, last song on the B side are probably my favorite on here. You've also got Halos, which is like a typical fast Copyright song. Stuck in the Winter, another really good one. To be fair, though, the Copyrights, they don't really have any bad albums, in my opinion. They're my favorite of the, I wouldn't say Ramones core, but like your traditional pop punk bands. They're probably my favorite of like the new wave of traditional pop punk bands. This was the version that came with the t-shirt. It's half clear, half blue with some pink splatter. I want to pick up the store edition one of these days because I really enjoyed this album. Dylan, what are your thoughts on the Copyrights?
So the Copyrights in general, I remember they were kind of making waves in the late 2000s, early 2010s a bit, especially with Make Sound. And then North Sentinel Island, I think, was a moderately popular album when it came out. I never really super got into the Copyrights. I don't dislike them, but I just got to get more into them, I guess, do a deeper dive. And I think this album will be a good one to start with. It's the newest. I think it's their first on Fat proper instead of like Red Scare with singles on Fat. So I'll have to dive into this one.
Yeah, you're 100% right too, because I remember back in like 08, 09 on Vinyl Collective, the forum, like they were like one of the most talked about bands on there. I think that may have been where I had heard them very early on, but yeah, this would be my recommended starting point for sure. Why not start at the newest, right?
A little stronger, a little cruel. So we left town, past the courthouse, past the graveyard, past the school.
So this is your last pick now, Dylan. What's it going to be?
We're making it count. We're going with another European band. I think I got all European bands on this shit. Adrenalized.
Oh, nice.
Operation Exodus. Are these guys from Europe or are they from South America? They're from...
Let's check quick.
Donostia. I don't know where that is.
It sounds South American, but...
So Operation Exodus, their most recent album. Hopefully they record another. These guys are fantastic. So my introduction to them was Tales from the Last Generation. These guys were pretty big in like the skate punkers subgenre of, you know, skate punk in that area corner of the internet. So I thought Tales was an awesome album, but Operation Exodus takes everything that album did well and refines it, and it's way more polished and well put together. Always talk about technical melodic skate punk. That's exactly what this is. A real face melter of an album. So I don't know if I can pick out like exact favorites because it all kind of melts together in a good way. So again, just I recommend listening to the whole album front to back.
I don't know what's going on. We're working on society. And wheels fight. We think of break instead of showing unity.
I'm going to make you pick favorites because I think we should be doing a playlist for this. I feel like it makes the most sense. Maybe we'll pick 2 songs from each song. I won't put you on the spot now, but by the time this video goes up, we'll have 2 songs because Dylan, I've heard Tales, but I don't think I've heard this one. I missed this. I missed like a lot of these, man. So I'm really glad we're doing this. So I'm going to need your 2 picks eventually, but I'll get to my last pick. I'm going to do Rabies, their 2021 record, Something Tasty. This was in my top 10 of 2021, just like the Copyrights, just like the Dirty Nil. I think 2021 is the best year we've had for music in a really long time. If you haven't heard this is, I would say like my favorite style of punk rock, really. It's very melodic, skate punk tinged, pop punk. That's the way I would describe it. It's very, Fat Wreck-ish sounding, like Useless ID, No Effects, 10-Foot Pole, somewhere in that vein. It's similar to another band I'm going to have on the list, Krang. I think they're both from the Czech Republic. And this one, I think I have 3 copies of this. I just kept, every time I would order something from Stanley Star or pick up another, because I think it sounded really cool, like an icicle color blue. And if you haven't picked up the record, I know they still have copies, and it comes with this humongous poster on the inside because the album art is really cool. And then you've got this gigantic poster, which I'm moving soon, so I haven't hung it up, but big ass poster. And Rabies may have some news coming, so if you like this album, make sure and keep your eyes and ears peeled. But Dylan, have you heard this record, Something Tasty?
I have not. I got to listen to it. I like the cover art though. And I like the poster. Poster is very Shield Recordings-esque. They do that same thing. They blow up the art and make a giant poster out of it.
I love it, man. I love when bands just do like a little extra.
A little less margin on the sale.
I was... Yeah, that's my pick is Rabies, Something Tasty. I love this album. Favorite song is Save the Vinyl, but I really like Skateboard, No News, and Punk Delivery, but the whole thing is really good. Keep your eyes peeled for some possible Rabies news. So, Dylan, anything else? Any insights into your other 15 albums you're going to feature?
They're to be determined for the most part. All I want to say is if anyone has a copy of Grit by No Fun at All that they would like to part with, then you have a buyer. Send me a message on Instagram, please.
All right. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you like it, there's going to be 3 more episodes. If you don't like it, there's going to be 3 more episodes. So make sure you're subscribed, like the video and all that other stuff that we usually say. And we will see you next time.